There we go.
Woo!
Okay, we're
3
live.
minutes.
Okay, we got a 3-minute count now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
it
no
says
countdown.
We're live.
3-minute count now. Hey,
Right?
let's switch over to the other Discord.
Oh my god.
No
Says
countdown.
we're live.
All right, I'm gonna switch over to the other Discord, guys.
Just to be private, I guess. Yeah, let's
Alright.
do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, I'm gonna switch over to the other Discord, guys.
Just to be private, I guess. Yeah, let's
Alright.
do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
What did you want to do? Be the odd one out?
Kind of.
Oh, now we're just waiting for improv. Improv's the last one. I gotta raise the volume on.
Okay, there we go.
Found it.
All right.
Yeah.
I should have been more specific. Hey guys, Grinch here, and welcome to the late night talk show. This is our second time doing this, and we're really excited for you guys to be here. If you're new to the podcast, please like and subscribe, and share on social media. We would really appreciate it. We've got a good show for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield, Mixer, YouTube, Bethesda, KSI fight. We got a lot of cool things going on tonight. And why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves too? I'm taking up the spotlight here.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. My name is Cole, and I'm here, and yeah.
Bacon?
Okay. Hey everyone. My name is Bacon, or I also go by 99K0.
Damn, I should have done that. My name's Jeff. I didn't even think about that.
and Panic.
Yep, I'm Jim, otherwise known as Panic. I'm here for the Pokemon chatter.
I'm here for the memes. I don't know about you guys.
Well, we're all walking memes, so this should be pretty good.
I think
But I'm
so.
sitting!
Oh gosh.
The topic of tonight would be the KSI and Logan Paul fight.
Oh
And
boy, do we got a story for you?
I know nothing about it, so Colt and Bacon, you have the floor.
So the funny thing is, everybody, is me and Bacon actually watched this together on the live stream.
Yes, we did watch it. We ended up watching 3 fights beforehand. All the 3 fights prior, and then the KSI Logan fight.
Now, did you watch it legally?
Yeah.
Yes.
On the
Yes.
zone.
We didn't watch the Twitch
Okay.
streamer with the sunglasses.
Oh yeah, the one that
I was
streamed
gonna
it through his sunglasses.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we have a whole discussion to make after you guys talk about the fight.
Oh gosh. So a lot of people were kind of like irritated and pissed that Logan lost the 2 points and KSI won. They feel like KSI only won because of the 2 points taken off. And while that possibly might be true, even if you would have, in my opinion, and even if it would have been 1 point instead of 2 points, it would have just been another draw. But Logan got the points taken away from him because he got a solid uppercut on KSI. He did. That was a nasty uppercut. But then he held his head and uppercutted him again. And then he punched him in the back of the head. And then he punched him in the back of the head while he was on the ground again. So that's 3 illegal hits. He's lucky he didn't get disqualified, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the referee even said he was very close to banning Logan Paul from the fight.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
A lot of cheap blows, in other words.
And the funny
The
thing
whole
was,
fight, there was a lot of cheap blows.
oh yeah, the funny thing was at the end, and KSI even had a knockdown that they didn't count. So if they would have counted Logan's knockdown, they would have had to count KSI's knockdown, and I still think that would have put KSI ahead. But it was funny at the end. I know we talked about the other day, Grinch, right before. It wasn't right before. It was the same day, but we talked about how you thought it might be another draw. At the end, Logan was like, "Hey, Si, do you want to do a trilogy? Let's do another one." And KSI was like, Nah, I'm done. You do what you want." KSI didn't want another one.
Yeah.
He didn't want another one.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny watching that, especially because Logan looked very pissed about that.
He said he was going to dispute it. Are you going to try to dispute it?
Well,
That's
no, I
funny.
mean just wanting another match. Logan wanted another match, but he was
KSI
very
didn't.
mad. KSI didn't want to.
Well, I mean, they're 2 YouTubers who thrive on drama, both of them. And
Mhm.
so there may eventually be a third fight. They just want in as
Yeah.
much drawn out drama as possible to give themselves more attention.
I give them
And-
props for getting in there though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't see a lot of super greedy people knock each other around day to day. So
Very
I
true.
definitely agree. I mean, I don't have much respect for either one of them, although I might have a little less respect for Logan Paul, so I am glad he lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of I didn't want to support the fight just because of who it involved, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Understandable. Do you think we're going, Bacon? Do you think we're going to get to see the? Do you think there's going to be a Vidal Riley versus Shayna Briggs fight?
I wish, but I highly doubt it. I feel like Shannon Briggs would find a way to get out of it.
The Mr. Let's Go champ.
Yep. Or let's go chump nowadays.
Oh my gosh.
I want to see PewDiePie versus Jacksepticeye.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair, they have been not PewDiePie, but Mark and Jack have been having a lot of beef on Twitter today.
I did see that where
Oh,
he was
really?
the cloak
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, talking
Oh.
about who is better at cloak.
Did you see the picture of
Almost.
Jacksepticeye in the video?
Yes.
That's pretty funny. And then
No,
Jack was like, "This means war," and Mark was like, "Oh my, you said a 3-word sentence without any spelling mistakes? Wow."
Mhm.
Well, I mean, they are business partners. They
Yeah.
own the brand Cloak together, so I mean, it would be pretty funny if there was like some fake beef between them, which is probably what it was.
I think
Well,
so.
I mean, obviously, but yeah, I mean, it would definitely be more entertaining for me because I actually find them at least to be somewhat decent people, or
Yeah.
try to be. But yeah, I would much rather see that fight, even though we would probably never see it happen.
I don't
Mhm.
think so. I don't know. I don't think they'd fight each other. Dr.
If
Disrespect
anything-
did say he would fight someone if there was someone that was on his level, but he's so tall and his reach is so long.
Yeah. Although I love how someone said Tyler 1 should fight him.
Oh my god. Isn't that the
Dr.
really, really
Disrespect
short guy?
versus Ninja.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a short guy.
God.
I'd
But-
like to see Dr. Disrespect versus Ninja. That'd be a good fight.
Ninja would get killed.
that's
Ninja-
kind of the point. I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying maybe Courage versus Tim.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I'm a big fan of Tim the
Yeah.
Tat Man.
Isn't there a weight limit?
That would be
I think the only boxing fight actually being planned right now for YouTube wise is Jake Paul versus Anson Gibb.
which I don't care about at all.
I
I
don't.
just
I
want
hate
want
Jake
both
Paul
Pauls
with a passion.
gone.
I do.
Yeah.
I just want
do
both
hate
Pauls
Jake Paul.
beaten.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah, I'm
you-
not.
Have you seen Courage though lately, Bacon? I think that dude lost some weight. Like holy shit.
Courage, yes, he has lost some weight. He's going to the gym now daily.
Damn.
So I know you guys were talking a little bit about some of the changes with Call of Duty. What do you guys feel about the state of the game right now?
I am in love with the new map. The new map they have out called Shoot House is, in my opinion, what the size of the Call of Duty map should be. Maybe not that small, but just in that general area. A lot of the new maps they came out with are just too big.
Right.
Just too big.
Yeah.
Especially there's this one map. It's like something palace, and it's so big they give you quads to ride around. That's how
It's
big
like
it is.
a Hera something.
It's huge. There is the shotgun in the game that I think they've nerfed once or twice, and it's still overpowered.
'Cause I mean, there's not much else they can do with the shotgun.
No, and I don't mind when people use the 725 if the 725 shotgun if they're running around, but literally, and I am saying this, literally, if you just sit on the inside of a doorway or in the corner of a room and you sit there the whole game with that 725 shotgun, you are literally bad at Call of Duty. You suck at the game. I am saying it.
So I really would like to buy the Call of Duty game and try it. However, I have been burnt the last 2 or 3 times I've done so, and so I, again, really hate to spend $60 and support a AAA developer who doesn't give a finished product, and
which
this
is
is a
understandable.
and I'm that's kind of my niche is the indie game thing, and I would rather take that money and support smaller developers who actually
Yeah.
have a passion and drive, and not towards some of these AAA greedy ass companies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The good thing that's going on right now, and I think I talked to you about that earlier, Grinch. So far, there is nothing in the game you can buy beside. I think it's called, what is it, Bacon? The endowment thing, which
The
that
endowment
I
pack
think,
at the moment.
yeah, and I think that's just cosmetics. But I think it's just cosmetics. Don't quote me on that. But other than that, there's actually like 8 or 9 sets of challenges where you can unlock different gun variants, um, and everybody has access to it. There is no you buy packs and get different guns so far, which is a good thing. You know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm all about the cosmetic stuff. I mean, like we talked about this a little bit last time. Like the Overwatch loot box model, as long as you're able to buy everything without
Yeah.
spending real money, even if it's, I don't think it's right to have cosmetic stuff that is solely with money. But the system that Overwatch has, if you get duplicate items, it's turned into
Uh,
gold, and then you can then buy cosmetics with it.
and in
And I think that's a great.
Overwatch, when you level up, don't you get a loot box?
Yeah, yeah,
So
every
I
time you
mean,
level
yeah,
up, you get a loot box. And it doesn't get harder to level up as you go. It's pretty much always the same.
yeah,
Depending on how well you play, depends on how fast you level up. The more you level up, the more loot boxes you get.
yeah. The
But
only sorry, the only thing I'm really confused by, and it kind of bugs me, because like when you get a Call of Duty game, for at least that first week, the first thing in your head is, man, I want to be the first person to prestige. You know what I mean? You hit that level 55 mark, you want to prestige. Well, I can tell you there is no prestiging, and I'm like a level 138 or 139, and I wish there was prestiging because I would have prestiged literally twice by now. You know, like
we'll see. In like the prestige thing, that was kind of the staple of Call of Duty, at least in my opinion. It was kind of how it was an achievement, and not only an achievement, but a challenge every time you would restart,
yeah,
because you would put yourself at a disadvantage when you would prestige, and you do get perks later on, of course.
yeah. Well, now they
But
have something where you know how you always got an emblem for prestiging, like a different emblem
right,
every time you prestige. Now they have these challenges. Like once you hit level 55, once you pass that, um, you go into I forget what it's called, but you get these little ribbons that have challenges on them, and every ribbon you complete, I think it's every 10 you complete, you unlock a new emblem for the next season or whenever the season starts or something like that. So I did 30 ribbons. I got 3 new emblems coming to me when the season starts. So I guess it's all right. I want to see what the emblems look like, but I would much rather have the prestige model there. You know?
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I just don't know. I feel like a lot of these companies try to be different and don't like it. They change the stuff that nobody wants, and then they don't change the stuff that everybody hates, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the Call of Duty franchise as a whole when I think of the nostalgia and the games that I played when I was a kid. But the games, what you get now is a very crappy comparison to the same feeling I got 10 years ago. Um,
The story is
I'm,
actually pretty good on this one. It's very
I did see
graphic, but it's
the
pretty good.
vision for actually having a story mode in this one because
Mhm.
that I was really angry with the last one when they didn't.
Black Ops 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I yeah, with nostalgia, I know what you mean. Like I remember, was it on the PlayStation 2 playing Call of Duty 2, the big red one? You remember that?
Yeah.
Those were pretty good back in the day.
Like Modern Warfare 2, I can't even tell you how many hours I spent on that game.
Oh
And like
yeah.
I could play it for days on end, and like as soon as I got some spare time I wanted to run back to it. They just don't give me that feeling anymore.
There was
Mhm.
like I remember back in the day too. There was so many like per se Call of Duty clones. Like they were some of them were good. Like there was this one called Medal of Honor Rising Sun. That was a pretty good game. But I definitely miss the old school Modern Warfare days. I'll agree with you on that. On the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
What do you guys have any of you guys seen the new Rick and Morty?
I have not. Penguin was
I
talking
have
to me about
not.
it the other day. He said it was pretty good, but I haven't started watching the new
I
season
haven't seen
yet.
it myself, but I absolutely love Rick and Morty. This is a topic that Panic just brought up, and I didn't even think about it. But I'm a big fan of Rick and Morty. I'm interested to see what they do in this season. And from what I understand, they're going to issue like 5 episodes semi back to back right now, and then they're going to have the rest of the season, which is an additional 5 episodes, come in like I think in the summer, if I'm right.
I think I heard something similar.
Yes. Was there anything in particular you wanted to talk about on that, Panic, or did you just want to?
Oh, I
Bring it.
wasn't even bringing it up for this particular
Well,
stream. I was just adding it to the
yeah, the
podcast
list.
notes.
Yeah. I mean, I would
Um,
love to talk about it next week. Maybe we can all watch the episode and kind of give our thoughts on it. And a second episode might even be out by then. I'm a huge Rick and Morty
possibly.
fan, and
It was pretty darn good.
I kind of like the idea of us have like running topics that we touch back on from previous weeks. And so that's actually why I wanted to talk about Death Stranding a little bit. I talked to a few of my friends who've actually played through the game, because from an outside view looking in, it does look kind of bland and boring because there's a lot of walking in the game. But from what I understand, it's a really good experience. It's not, the game is so beautiful that you don't even realize that there's that much walking, if that makes sense. And the cinematics just make the game that much cooler. Um,
Dang.
I remember a similar feeling like playing Final Fantasy games growing up. Like we'll say Final Fantasy X, for instance. For the day it came out, the game had absolutely amazing graphics, and I remember just getting like lost. And I don't remember doing that with a whole lot of games, especially as a young kid. And so I can definitely understand that aspect of it. And I just didn't want to give the game a bad rap, or somebody have a bad taste for that game from our podcast without having some good some other views on it. So
Yeah,
I was just going to touch base on that real quick.
completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much
Um,
about the game.
I mean, it's got Daryl from The Walking Dead, and I mean, how could it be bad?
I mean, yeah, that, and there's scenes where it shows his butts also. So.
Where it
Ooh,
shows his
now I've
butt.
got it. I've got to go play it now. I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna go buy it
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh, we just lost Grinch.
I want to see Daryl Dixon's butt. You heard it here first, folks.
His wife walks in. What the hell are you looking at?
It wouldn't be the weirdest thing she heard me say. It wouldn't be the weirdest,
Oh
I promise.
no.
Oh my gosh.
No, I mean, I think the game will be good. I mean, there's lots of good games coming out. I really can't wait to get my hands on Pokemon Sword tonight and
Yes.
just kind of get lost in the nostalgia again. I mean, I will say that I'm much more looking forward to this game than I did Pokemon Let's Go,
Yeah.
Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah.
And the reason is
100%.
you're not playing the same story. There's some different Pokemon, and so, and don't get me wrong, that game had a really cool nostalgia
Yeah.
aspect to it, and I still like
Yes.
playing it from time to time. But I like the new experience. I feel like the new game is going to be extremely ambitious. And I just kind of want to leave it open to you guys to talk about right now, because I have some points I want to touch on, but not until kind of the end of this topic. So if you
Okay.
guys have something to say, go ahead.
I do feel excited about this one because with all the new stuff and like, there's gonna be like a new story and everything like that. Like you said on the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, I felt more like, because growing up we played the Pokemon. I think you played them too. The Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. Um, I just felt like it was more work for me, grinding through the whole same process again, and pretty much nothing being new. You know. Um, but I am excited for the new game. I really, honestly, I'm gonna be blatantly honest. Besides the starter, knowing what the starter Pokemons are to a point, I don't know anything about the game. I want to have a blind playthrough. You know?
Yeah, and that's kind of the
That's
points
kind of
that
where I am too. Yeah.
that's kind of the points I wanted to bring up. I listened to some reviews that weren't too evasive, or they didn't talk too much about the core gameplay, but they did talk about some of the mechanics, and that was kind of some things that I wanted to bring up. Some of the concerns were the limited amount of Pokemon in this game.
Okay.
And a lot of people wanted to see the full Pokédex because, after you beat the game, it gives you something to do.
Although this time, I believe, is it 100 new ones or 80?
Have we gotten an actual count on the new ones?
There was some leaks, but I did try to avoid those because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
There's some here's some of the cool aspects of the game that I have heard of. Like, so when you're in the stadium, when you're in the big stadiums and you're battling another trainer or Elite Four or whatever they may be, you can actually hear the fans in the stadium that are chanting the songs and singing along, which is really, really cool. I thought that was a pretty cool aspect.
Yeah.
It's a really small detail, but I mean, that's something that brings in a lot of immersion, So I thought that was going to be really cool. Also, not to plug for Walmart or anything, but I did find out that if you buy Sword and Shield today, supposedly it's $10 off at Walmart.
Damn.
So at their midnight release, yeah.
Bacon just got it at Best Buy.
Yeah, but I got it for 40. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very nice. But no,
I think I ordered mine off Amazon, so we're getting both of them shipped to us tomorrow afternoon.
Nice. That's really cool. I mean, and honestly, a lot of the cons didn't really seem like I wrote down some of the cons, and they really don't seem that big of a deal to me. Like the limited Pokedex, as long as it's a good game, I don't really care that there's less Pokemon. I mean, because
a lot of people are having trouble with only the rumor is, or well, it's not even rumor; it's apparently confirmed. There's only 400 Pokemon out of the existing 900 plus in the game.
Yeah, and I believe I think it's 460, 70 total Pokemon they said were in this game.
Well, so like the best Pokemon games, in my opinion, were the second gen, Silver, Gold, Diamond. I love those games, and I believe there were only like 250. Wait, is that right? Yeah.
Gen 2 only added about 100 Pokemon, so they would have had 200 and some Pokemon.
250.
Gen 1.
Yeah.
250.
So I think that there's still plenty to work on because you're thinking, how many was there again? 300 and something.
251, I believe, in the new game. Gen 2. In the new one,
in the new game, there would be 400 some.
So imagine you have potentially like 400 shinies to catch on top of the 400 regular Pokemon. There's plenty there to do.
Oh yeah.
Although
I'm hoping they added more to the game than to just catch them all.
Yeah.
Like my vision for this, if it lives up to what I'm hoping, which I don't want to like overhype it to myself, but I'm hoping this is the kind of game that reinvents the Pokemon game. So then all future Pokemon games are like, man, I want it to be like Sword and Shield.
See, this is how I see it. So Pokemon Let's Go was the first step into the new Pokemon era. This is their first attempt at making a completely new game with those systems in mind. The next game I expect to be better because they had a completely original game in this new format, and they're going to get critique off this, and I believe the next one will probably be the best. That's just my personal opinion. I know a few minor details, like as far as there being like specific raids for like Pokemon Sword and Shield, where you'll be able to team up with people to take down bosses to catch, or certain like shinies and different things.
They've essentially taken the raid part of Pokemon Go and put it into Sword and Shield. It looks like. So you're gonna find a giant Pokemon, and you're gonna team up with a bunch of people to like take it down. Yeah. So if any of you play Pokemon Go, that's but you're only gonna team up with up to 4 people instead of up to 20.
And I think that's a really smart idea because you're building a sense of community within your game.
So we can team up with each other when we play it?
Yeah.
That's the what was that confirmed? Because that was one of the things that people were complaining that Nintendo Switch's like internet thing, it's always random. Like it's very seldomly can you do with, Because that was the argument
internet
with
is-
Mario Maker.
Yeah, the internet is a little bit iffy.
Okay.
And I believe what they said was if anyone has seen the map for the region, right in the middle there's a giant circle. And that's where supposed to be all the raids are gonna be held and all
Okay.
that. But apparently it's just supposed to be like an online thing. So you can see anybody out there. You can go into their camps, you can go into do raids with them, just any of that in that little area.
All right.
So there's essentially just an online location on your map that allows you to interact, kind of like an MMO.
Kind of, yes.
Okay, interesting.
Out of all these
Like
years, it's still like I'm so surprised that they haven't actually pursued a Pokemon MMORPG, because
I think it's a good thing they haven't.
And it probably is, but it would still be massively successful, even if it was a big pile of dog crap. If I'm being completely honest.
Very
A
true.
lot of people
I
want
mean,
to see it.
just look at some of the other titles that Pokemon's done, like the off-brands. Some of them did very well.
Yeah. Well, look at that.
'Cause some of them are
off-brand,
amazing.
Look at that off-brand experiment. It wasn't by Pokemon, but they're kind of experimenting with it. I know Bacon and Grinch played it with me. That Temtem. I felt like that was gonna be, that has the making to be something fun, because there is that multiplayer MMO aspect to it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they were building like a ban system and all sorts of things for a competitive game within their own MMO type thing, which was really cool. And I think it's very ambitious, and it's got a huge following already.
That was there.
And I think,
oh, good.
well, I was gonna say, like, I've played Pokemon MMOs on Roblox that were really good, and they had a huge fan base. It didn't take Nintendo too long to take them down, but it was still, I mean, but they were a lot of fun while they were up. One of the ones I played were Pokemon Brick Bronze, which was, I did a couple videos on it a long time ago, and I had a lot of fun. And I would honestly, for the community aspect, I would have kept playing that if they wouldn't have shut the servers down.
My question for the new Pokemon is, okay, because I'm not gonna lie, is there going to be color variants? Because I know, I'm not, and this is back in the day, but on Pokemon Silver and Pokemon Gold, stuff like that, you could catch, you were the badass in quotes if you caught the red shiny Gyarados. Is there going to be like color variants of the Pokemon in this game?
That's what we refer to as shinies.
I mean, all
shinies.
Pokemon have a shiny form.
Okay.
However, because I've heard a lot of speedrunners and shiny hunters talk about this, but there are certain Pokemon in this game that are shiny locked when you first meet them.
Okay.
Including the starters.
There was rumor that there would be hidden challenges and certain things you had to meet, like certain gyms, certain bosses, or certain things you had to achieve in the game before you would unlock shinies as well.
I like that idea.
I don't mind it.
Although what they said, adding on to that, the thing that made it a little bit more annoying, because like like I said, that circle is in the middle of the map and it's a big thing. However, one of the new things they said is, in order to catch a Pokemon above a certain threshold, you have to beat that gym. They can still appear in the wild, but you can't catch them. So, for example, in that middle area, if you only have 2 gym badges and it only goes up to 25, and you find a level 30, you can't do anything about it.
That makes sense in a raid. That makes sense in a raid sense, because, but like if it was just a random Pokemon out in the wild, that's
any Pokemon in the wild.
Okay, I would rather just see that Pokemon beat your ass, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm rather iffy on that fact, because some of they're already putting restrictions on what you can do as far as what Pokemon they have in the decks, which is fine. Like they can limit. They basically just cut the number of Pokemon available in half. But when they're limiting what you can catch depending on what gyms you've beaten, like what if you're just exploring and you're not caring about the gyms right now? That kind of puts a damper on your entire game at that point.
Yeah.
So one thing I've been wondering is, since this is a kind of a new era of Pokemon, are you going to be able to say, like, take your Pokemon from this game into the next one?
That's what Pokemon Home is supposed to be for.
Okay.
We haven't discussed Pokemon Home yet, but Pokemon Home is the new core Pokemon bank that they're coming out with.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out January or February of 2020.
Okay.
So Pokemon
too
is
far off.
in development of the three Pokemon like app games, I guess. Pokemon Go, which is your active Pokemon experience. Pokemon Home, which is your kind of be at home, keep everything intact. And like we kind of learned a little bit about it like 4 months ago, I want to say, maybe 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And then they're also developing, this isn't a joke, they're developing Pokemon Sleep, which is you can interact with your Pokemon, or they exist and they do stuff while you sleep.
Yeah,
so it's like the daycare kind of stuff.
In a way,
I guess.
From when I first saw it, it sounded like it was gonna be like Pokemon Go, in a way, except
but in your sleep.
We're focusing on sleep.
Sounds like Neopets to me.
So like the more you sleep, the more.
That's some back in the day shit, man.
That was Pokemon 2.0 online.
Neopets.
So yeah, Pokemon is making Go Home and Sleep.
Go home and sleep.
Yeah, those are the 3 apps they're working on: Go Home and Sleep. And I don't know if they're trying to give us a message or what, but
they're trying to take over the world.
I mean, possible.
Yeah.
So I mean, like a few of the other cons that they brought up were the no touch screen thing, and then this game will be, at least to my knowledge, the first Pokemon game that doesn't have the ability fly for your Pokemon.
No way,
Yes.
dude.
Yes, there is no fly in this game.
That's gonna bother me.
There is ways though.
Okay.
To move around.
There is a taxi in the game that they build lore for this flying taxi within the game itself.
So
and that's all I know about it.
So what you're telling me is instead of me being able to teach my Pokemon fly, I get a flying Uber, pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes, I believe you fly with one of the other big Pokemon.
Is this car from Harry Potter?
No.
Okay. Because I remember the flying car off of
Harry
Harry Potter.
One of the Pokemon from it.
I think it's more like Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did the same thing in the last Pokemon game too. In Sun and Moon, they got rid of HMs, and you just befriend Pokemon that can do that job for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel kind of bittersweet about that not being able to fly. It's cool that there's gonna be a car, but I would want my Pokemon to fly too. It's kind of a bittersweet feeling.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be kind of the same thing they did in Go, Pikachu, and Eevee, where you didn't even need fly. All you did was look at the town map, choose where you want to go, and you get teleported there. But pretty much.
Pikachu, you had to get that bike with the balloons on it. Remember?
Yeah, which I think this time it's the same thing, except I think it's the taxi with the Pokemon. I don't want to say the Pokemon. Uber. I know what the Pokemon is. I don't want to say it though. So.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really excited for Pokemon. Can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah.
And I will be playing a lot of it soon.
Yep, same.
Yeah, I'll be starting tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
What a coincidence, me too.
Wow, we all will be. Maybe we can all party together. We don't even know if we can yet. We will soon find out.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta get your guys' friend codes.
Yeah,
I'll do that later.
I wonder if the Pokeballs interact with the new game. Like
features. The Pokeball controller,
I would imagine
does.
Because we have 2 Pokeball controllers because we plan on playing it co-op. I don't know if that's going to actually be a thing in this one. I hope it is.
I don't think
hope
co-op
not.
is. I don't think co-op is in this one.
Like, it's really hard to compare this to Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, because that was essentially a remake to reintroduce people to Pokemon that might not have been into it. And this is supposed to be like a full-fledged, core Pokemon game. And I don't think they're gonna have those casual styled game mechanics Like I don't want to shit on casual gaming because
Yeah.
I'm also part casual gamer, but like the using the Pokemon Go and Let's Go kind of mechanics in a core Pokemon game would just sicken me.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really hard to cater to both a casual and a competitive audience. Look at Overwatch, for instance.
Yeah.
They're constantly changing their patch notes and everything, and I don't know. I feel like there's been so many changes in the game that it's just been really hard to keep up with, especially as of late. And I feel like the community has really died out since the announcement of Overwatch 2. I don't know if you've got to play much lately, Panic, but that's just my personal opinion.
I haven't had the opportunity to play very much lately. I'm hoping to soon because I guess a big patch dropped and I really need to play it.
So and I actually wanted to talk about the upcoming patch notes that aren't quite live yet. They're
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So they're changing the armor damage reduction from 3 to 5, which will make tanks live quite a bit longer, honestly. Orissa's base armor, she's getting 50 more.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so she's getting 50 more armor.
Pretty much it's a buff to the tanks.
Well,
yes, but they're nerfing shields.
Shields are getting nerfed a lot. So Orissa's shield is going from 900 to 600. Sigma shield is going from 1500 to 900.
Oh wow.
Reinhardt's is dropping from 2000 to 1600.
Yeah, exactly. But Reinhardt's going to be able to move much faster with his shield up now. And his knockback resistance was increased also. So he's going to be, this is going to make takes where they can eat like direct damage a lot easier and not have to rely on their shield. There's going to be a lot of like shield hopping and things like that.
Which is good because one of the things is a lot of people focus on their shields, which is what everybody's bitching about in the first place is, oh, shields aren't fun to shoot, blah, blah, blah. But if you're playing the tank right, like the shield meta is only obnoxious because people don't know how to play without a shield when they're a shield tank. Like, as for example, as a Reinhardt, like when I play Reinhardt, you can take damage and not have your shield up 100% of the time, and that helps both teams because your healers get ult charge and your opponents are getting ult charge too, but still it's a much funner game when you're not 100% just up on your shield.
Yeah, I mean, the way to properly play Reinhardt, and this is what I do, is you jump forward, throw up your shield. It's called shield hopping. You get some momentum, you take a little bit of damage, and you're reducing the damage that's going onto your shield while still giving your healer ult charge. And what you do, and a lot of people don't do this, is play the corner. If you're taking damage, peek out, throw a fire strike, go back and hide around some corner. I mean, and I feel like I don't think these are a lot of bad changes. I just feel like they're quality of life.
Right.
I think the reduction to Moira's healing, her spray is a lot. She's going down from 80 heals per second to 65, which is a pretty significant amount. And I just think that these are all quality of life things. And I think you're going to see the rise of a lot of secondary healers like Lucio and Zenyatta come back into play now that there's not a bunch of shields you have to deal with. Where getting a pick is going to be a lot more valuable. You can't just throw up a shield and bunker in behind it.
Definitely.
I'm really excited to see the future of Overwatch, but I do think that the community has dropped significantly since the announcement of Overwatch 2. I think that people are kind of seeing like Overwatch in its current state as like, what's the point? Kind of a thing. They're just wanting to see what Overwatch does next.
There's a new one's gonna be coming out
before they invest any more time in it. I honestly don't think that was a smart thing on Blizzard's behalf because I think that they could have named it anything else or just made it as if it were an expansion for the current game, and that would have been a lot more successful. I do understand that they're building a completely new engine and the game that we currently have is going to be free for us to play on the new engine. But just the whole PvE thing, it should have been marketed as an expansion, in my opinion, because the whole thing is just confusing. And I know a lot of people were kind of outraged about it. It really doesn't bother me that much, but I can see why people would get a little bit confused about an Overwatch 2 when it's just basically the same game.
Yeah. Hey,
True.
Vivid, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, Vivian, what's going on, man?
Bruh.
Bruh,
Bruh.
Bruh.
bruh, bruh.
Bruh.
The but I mean, there's a lot of quality of life things that are going on in Overwatch. I like the change to the rotation. They're gonna have different rotations for competitive for maps
For
from
maps,
season
yep.
to season, and so that's pretty cool. They took out Paris and Horizon Lunar Colony because no one likes those maps. I don't particularly have a problem with them, but it seems like they're massively hated by most of the community.
So it's like
Those are two maps that
Piccadilly
a
on
lot of
Call
people don't know
Duty.
how to play on.
I think that the reason those maps people don't like is they can't seem to find their sense of consistency on those um, maps. I never had problem. I love booping people off with Hammond all day long, but I can definitely get why people wouldn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
I think you said people can't find their sense of consistency. Is one of the problem is either you're too consistent or you don't know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Because there's only one way, or one or two ways to defend Horizon, and basically only one way to defend Paris.
Mhm.
And it gets stale.
Well, there's
Paris-
two ways.
Paris, you bunker up.
Right.
You bunker up right on that first platform, and if your opponents know what they're doing, they'll wipe you. If they don't know what they're doing, you'll wipe them.
And the weird thing about Paris is that first point is so hard to contest, but the second one is super easy. Your spawn point is basically right there. It's like the second point. I find that map incredibly similar to Hanamura. It's another 2CP map, but it's designed very much the same way. There's one main point to come through, but then on the second, for the first point, and then for the second point, you're spawning right outside the capture point.
I mean, that's most 2CP maps at that point. It just some have a slightly farther walk.
I think what is it, Ilios? Those are kind of in the middle. I don't know. I find it an odd design that they would put that spawn point so close together, though. I really do. I have seen matches here lately, at least from my opinion, they tend to last a lot longer than they did last season. I don't know if people are getting smarter. I don't know that they've changed anything that made the fight last longer, except for maybe people are bunkering up a little bit longer. Baptiste definitely makes the fights last a little bit longer, but that's the only thing I can really think of. The only other thing I wanted to touch on Overwatch is they're introducing a while you wait thing where you can go to the practice range as a team. You can skirmish freely with the other players. You can also go to custom. Moving on to the next topic is, Disney Plus. I didn't want to go into a whole lot of detail. I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the original stuff that they're going to offer. I'm really excited to see what all they do. I watched the first episode of Mandalorian last night and absolutely loved it. I'm not going to go into any detail, but I do think that there is definite promise in some of the Disney originals. I'm definitely looking forward to some of the Marvel ones also. Star Wars and Marvel are some of my favorite movies. Not necessarily my as of late, but I definitely am interested to see like the Loki series coming out soon. I would love to see. I'd love to see it more of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Some things that were explained or might be explained that weren't in the movies and things like that. Kind of expanding the universe more or less.
I heard that the show that I watched as a kid is gonna be on there, and if that's gonna be on there, I'm gonna fucking watch it. The
You can't crush on Kim Possible.
The Kim
Colt.
Possible.
You can't do it.
I'm gonna watch it, man.
I mean, Kim Possible is a really good show.
Oh yeah.
It was a good show.
And they had, I think there was a really good movie that kind of came up near the end of it, and But now Disney Plus, that's all specifically Disney owned properties, right?
Yes.
Exclusively Disney stuff. Nothing else.
Nothing
Okay.
else.
For the moment, because I believe
Right, and
Nickelodeon is working with them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, so
Gotcha.
the package I saw when I signed up for it last night, because I actually just watched Mandalorian last night, was that you can get Disney, Hulu, and ESPN
And ESPN. Yep.
all for like $13 a
$12.99.
month. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a bad deal, honestly.
I was actually just talking to my mom about that like an hour ago. She keeps seeing it on Facebook, so she was asking about it, and I'm like, well, it's $6.99 for this Disney Plus, and it's $12.99 for Disney Plus and Hulu, because she's not going to care about it, ESPN, but she'll have it. And I asked her, like, well, or she kept asking me, is it worth it? Like, are there adult shows on there? Are there movies like Netflix? And I'm like, well, think about it. How much do you watch Netflix, and how much are you paying? And then she sent me a text. She's paying $16 for Netflix.
How?
Apparently, she's paying $16 a month for Netflix.
No way.
Now that right there,
No way.
like I can double check, and like I'm sure she just looked at her bank statement or whatever and might have seen whatever charged Netflix. But either way, like, she's at least minimum paying $12-13 for Netflix.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Well, I mean, if you get Hulu, Disney, and ESPN all for that same price, I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's watched Hulu before, so she would watch Hulu over Disney Plus, and I think Disney Plus would just be for us to watch, essentially. But
Hulu's where Rick and Morty's
yeah.
at.
Yes.
The only thing that, well, I mean, I'll save this for the next topic, but I'm really interested to see all the originals with Disney Plus and see what kind of viewership they get. I found it very interesting that Netflix started sharing their viewership for some of their original series with the general public this year. I know that like The Witcher, for instance, I think that's going to be. I'm interested to see how the series does. I hope it holds up to the games as far as quality. Absolutely loved the games, and I'm hoping that they keep it up. I like that these streaming services are offering their own original series and creating a place for like fandoms to petition for shows to be like revitalized and things like that. I just think that's an awesome awesome market that hasn't been really tapped into. As like Firefly, for instance, I know there was a petition going around that show get revitalized, which at this point I don't think it would be a good idea.
I don't think it would be, but I wish.
But I mean, this is something I was talking to my wife about. There's so many different platforms offering these different streaming services. Before long, what you're going to have is people jumping ship from one platform to the other to be able to catch up on their favorite shows. As soon as they're caught up, they're going to drop that and go to the next one. I personally would not pay for 5 different streaming services just so I could watch them a little bit easier. It's just too much. I mean, all these streaming services are going to be equivalent to what like cable would be. And so you're basically going to be choosing like 5 streaming services over cable. And
did you see the same meme that I did? There was the logos of all the streaming services, and then it was a picture of Rick from Rick and Morty saying, "This sounds like cable, but a lot more." Or this sounds like cable, but with more steps.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's true. I think what you'll see in the future is and this has already been done to some degree, is a lot of like internet providers teaming up with Hulu and Netflix to be able to offer it as a package deal, you know.
Oh, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that you'll probably see more of that. Where I live, AT&T did that with Hulu for a little while. I don't think they're doing it any longer. But like, say if you got a phone, you got a year subscription of Hulu. and they did different
wow.
things like that for a little while. And
Yeah.
so I'm interested to see how they do that in the future, because if, say, Hulu is obviously already teaming up with Disney, Netflix could team up with, like, say, Amazon Prime or one of the other streaming services. I mean, it just makes sense. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what streaming looks like maybe another year from now, because I feel like it's a market that's just going to continue to grow.
Speaking of Rick and Morty, I just thought of it when we were talking since you guys were talking about it. There's only one thing that's ever scared me from Rick and Morty. No, I wouldn't really say scared, but sometimes I go to the store in the mall and I see the in this episode completely, like, after I watched it, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. Sometimes when I go to the store in the mall, there's the eye holes, the Rick and Morty eye holes, and like I'm like, I swear to God, I'm gonna buy these, and eye hole man is gonna come beat the shit out of me. Those are his eye holes. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I won't buy them because of that.
So my wife, I binge watched through the first 2 series, and this was like right as the 3rd series came out, and I had seen it around, but I didn't like pay a lot of attention to it, and I started watching it one day, and I'm like, oh man, this is fantastic. And so I saw the one episode where it was about the couples therapy and the codependent episode. And so I showed that one to my wife, and she became an instant fan. We both thought that was the funniest episode by far. It might remind us a little too much of our own relationship, but it's how it's how I got her to start watching the show. It was a lot of fun.
Damn. I was just always attracted, not like attracted, but intrigued by the show Rick and Morty, because as soon as I saw the characters, like, I am a huge, like, I love the Back to the Future movies, and when I saw Rick and Morty, their character designs, I was like, that's Doc and that's Marty. That's Doc and Marty in my eyes.
Yeah.
I just heard that you were attracted to Morty.
Yeah.
Do what?
I said the first thing I and this was just my ADD. I was thinking I heard the only thing I heard at first was I'm attracted to Morty.
No. I went to go say I said attracted, and I was like, no, that's not the right word. It's intrigued.
I'm not sure that sounds much better.
But I was just intrigued by their character designs because they look like the Back to the Future characters.
So there was this guy, I mean, and you find all kinds of trolls in Overwatch, and this is kind of one of the most messed up things I've heard in the last couple weeks anyways, is guy asked me if I was Catholic. I'm not know why. He's like, I identify as a 12-year-old. I'm like, that's a little I'm like, that's
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a little rough.
That sounds like the jokes I would make.
I was like, wow, that's a special individual right there. But it's funny, you get a big enough community, you run into some people like that, in no matter what community you go in. I cannot stress enough how toxic the League of Legends community is, though. By far the worst. I know I talk about it a lot, but I mean it. That is the worst community of all time.
It actually makes me a little bit happy that that there is a more toxic community than Overwatch, because I was getting worried.
Man, their community makes Overwatch look like kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like, Overwatch is the breeding ground for what they like. It's the kids that grow up into what the League of Legends players are.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
What's really funny about the what's been happening to Bacon and I and some other people in the community with the Call of Duty community is we have our clan tags as 99K. So when there's like four or five of us jumping in a game, like, people literally in voice chat be like, holy shit, there's fucking 4 or 5 people from one clan. We're fucked. Like, it's so funny just hearing people be like, oh, there comes the 99K.
We're becoming notorious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about toxic things, not necessarily a community. Well, I guess the community is toxic towards the company that's making the games, which would be
the company itself.
I love your segues. Speaking about toxic, let's talk about this.
Hey, I am practicing. I have I have done so prior to doing this whole podcast thing, I've done 2 podcasts on my own, and it was with one other individual. And I am working on perfecting my craft of segues. I think I'm doing all right. I will
So far, so
continue,
good.
Yeah, so far so good.
which
Sounded a little bit
that talks.
fancy right there, like he was gonna say a big word like indubitably or something.
I'm not. I'm not. I might be smooth, but I am not intelligent. We'll leave it at that.
I understand your photosynthesis.
Toxic. The toxic game I was referring to. I'm sure one of you can guess the name of it.
False
Bethesda.
Bethesda. There we go.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got a winner. No, Bethesda is to me a big pile of garbage heap at the moment. And I say that with extreme sadness because I remember bragging on Bethesda so much when I was younger, saying that they make the best RPGs, that no one even comes close to competing with them.
Skyrim.
And there is no there it's like they did a 180. They found a way to
Make it
they
worse.
they found a way to make it worse, obviously. And but what I'm the most sad about is they had crap games back when I was praising them, but they were the best crap games of that time. Those games haven't developed any over the last 10 years. They're basically the same crap games with no new design. Um I
And that's a matter of opinion because they're still. I mean, yeah, you could call them crap games, but like they're good games for their time.
yeah.
But like you said, they haven't advanced. So the ones that have come out recently are really good for the mid 2000s.
Yeah. If Fallout 76 would have came out 10 years ago or
Oh, I
15 years
probably would
ago,
have done very, very well.
Oh yeah,
we would have all been praising it. Oh my God, this is amazing. But now we're just like, this is a load of dog shit. I mean, it's and
and even then, it wasn't. It's not even that bad. Like I got it. I actually had it pre-ordered,
Yeah.
and I bought it, and I started playing it, and it's not like it just feels like a Fallout, but it's missing a lot. It's an incomplete Fallout.
It made for
It's
some
like-
That's the
funny,
problem.
It made for some funny moments, like content-wise, when Grinch and I were playing.
Oh, yeah.
it. But once you play it for so many hours, you're like, "What do I do now?" There's nothing really to do.
Yeah.
There's no content there, and the story is lackluster because you're following tapes, and there's no
Well,
NPCs. It's just bad.
you know,
Oh yeah, there's a whole story on the NPCs too.
like in
Like,
my
there's-
name. Go ahead.
Apparently there's supposed to be a patch this year there's supposed to be a patch this year that introduced NPCs, but it got pushed off to like summer of next year.
Wow.
Mm.
Big surprise.
I think
But
not
no.
having NPCs was a big thing.
My name is Grinch, although that name is a bit deceiving. I typically I'm very mellow, very laid back, but the thing that pisses me off the most about 76 that really brings out the troll in me is the fact that this game was marketed as a full game.
Mm.
When in fact it's like a demo, even to the state. It's a demo of what a game should be this day and age. Like
Just a
it would-
really long playable demo.
it would be considered a beta at this point, an online
Yeah, yeah.
MMO beta.
Early access.
Early access, that's a good way to
Yeah.
put it. And they are now not only is it at like a $50-$60 price tag for most people who bought it at launch, but now they're adding $100 yearly subscription or $12 a month. That's
Mhm.
absolutely insane. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but they had an exclusive scrap bin for these guys that could you could put unlimited amounts of item into the scrap bin, and every item that the players put into it when they logged off, it ate every item they put into it.
What?
Oh, I think I
That's-
heard about that.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
look into
was,
it, but I think I heard about that.
Big oof. Huge oof. And not only that, but the private servers that were for the subscription only players
Are not so private.
are not private. Any player who owns the game could get into those servers.
Crazy. But
Yeah.
there was a limit to 8 players in the server though, something like that.
I didn't read the part about the limit to the server.
Okay, I thought I heard it was like an 8, like you'd have 8 friends in your server.
Which, my personal opinion, I think it's absolutely stupid. Why would you want to play in a server limited to 8 people? The whole reason I wanted, I mean, that sounds. I almost said something I really didn't want to.
There's a good explanation why you might want to play in a separate server, and that's something that came up along with the membership, or something that came up as a cause to the as a cause from the membership. I posted a video in the Discord about it.
I feel like if you wanted to play like peer to peer with your friends, that should be an option.
Yeah.
Like they could have made private servers that way where you're running off one of the person's.
Me personally, I would have rather played on a private server, but only because you would literally spend, and Grinch remembers this, you would literally spend hours beyond hours building your base. And if you logged in and someone already had and someone was already on the game and they had their base built where yours was when you logged out, it just got put back in your pocket pretty much. And you would
that's bullshit.
And you had to find a new place to put it. And usually the way it worked out, when you had to find a new place to put it, your base was so like awkwardly shaped and made that you could never place it down again. So it was just, I would have rather played in a private server with my friends. You know what I mean?
I can get that to agree, but and that's kind of where I was going with this. Like, I think that you should have been able to put on like a peer to peer mode where you can play with your friends or even offline, because there is nothing about the game, at least in my opinion, where you could get too much benefit from playing alone.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's too many ways that people would have glitched things to be able to level faster or anything like that. But the whole reason for having Fallout 76 was to have that online experience.
Yeah.
I think that they should have had a bigger map, because if you think about it in the scheme of things, the Fallout 76 map is much smaller than any of the other Fallout games. Or at least out compared to like New Vegas and Fallout 4, in my opinion.
Fallout 4 was really good. I liked Fallout 4.
And 76 is representing what, just a smaller area too, like it's representing Boston instead of
like West Virginia, I think.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I bought it, because that's my state. So
I feel like with it being an online game, should have included more instanced areas, similar to the way that MMOs have dungeons in their open world. And I think
that'd be
that
something.
Some sort of progression like that. Maybe, I guess MMO probably wouldn't be the best way to put it, like World of Warcraft, but maybe more like Destiny type raids, things like of that nature. Some sort of progression type thing. People like that, and I probably would have played it if I felt like, farming this certain place or in-game thing would give me special items. I think that would have brought a lot more intrigue to the game.
Yeah.
I really, that's all I really had to bash on Bethesda. But I mean, I just don't feel like, for now, I just don't feel like that they make quality games anymore, and it makes me really sad because, like BioShock and games like that, they just were so good.
Oh, yeah.
And what was it? What's the other one? Mass Effect.
That made by Bethesda?
I believe Mass Effect was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can double check.
Go gadget Google.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Mass Effect,
EA,
BioWare.
EA.
BioWare.
Yeah.
Yeah, BioWare, not Matt. Yeah.
Now, I did like I said, I did like playing Fallout 76 in the beginning. The biggest glitch I saw was, and it took us, I think Grinch died like 2 or 3 times because this boss was just insanely hard, but it ended up glitching. That's how we beat it. Remember that bat thing? That giant freaking bat thing we fought in the cave? It was literally flying through the walls, and it was just, it was bad.
It was like glitching the ground, hitting me with his wing, and I was like getting one-shotted.
One time, like we even had an idea, like, we're just hiding in the beginning cave, like on the entryway into the big cave, and I was out in the big cave fighting it, and it flew past me and ended up like going into the wall and getting behind Grinch, and you heard Grinch scream and freak out. I don't even know how it did it. It was just the glitchiest thing I've ever seen.
That was legit one of the most scared times I've ever been playing games, and I play a lot of horror games. But like when you're looking at something that's straight inside of you, or like I don't know, 100 yards in front of you, and then all of a sudden it's behind you, it freaks you out. But I mean, it was pretty funny. I had some good times with Fallout 76. And here's the thing about games like that is as crappy as they are, they still have their own subtle personality, I guess is the nicest way to put it.
Yeah.
And I liked it for that aspect. It's the same reason people like Skyrim. Skyrim was not the most polished game, but it developed a lot of memes.
Let me just
And
tell
that's why
you.
people like Skyrim.
Let me just tell you about Skyrim. One of my first experiences with Skyrim was my friend told me to go kill a chicken in Riverwood. That did not turn out well for me. I'm just letting you know. All the villager, all the people in there beat the crap out of me.
I don't know who told you that.
No, you told me that. Not you, not in that game, but you told me to do that in the new Legend of Zelda Bacon, and I did that, and I literally got attacked by like 100 chickens flying at me.
I remember the Oracle of Time, or what was it? The Ocarina of Time.
Oracle of Ages.
Ocarina of Time for the N64. You attack the chicken, they come out of the woodworks.
That's what happened.
They start coming out of the mountain.
That's every Zelda game, yeah.
It's everyone now.
When I first started playing the game, Bacon was like, "Hey, I heard something cool," or he said something. He's like, "You should go hit a chicken." I was like, "All right." Well, I hit a chicken, and then like 100 of them just started flying at me, and I died. Or I don't know if I died, but it scared the crap out of me.
You died.
Did I die?
Oh, and I guess the reason that I thought Mass Effect was part of Bethesda is just because it's EA, which is basically just as bad. But yeah, I just thought I would throw that out there, throw some shade at EA while we're here. I'm not a big fan of them at the moment either. They've had a bunch of failed games over the last couple of years.
Didn't EA start the bad loot box thing?
Yes.
They were
the major controversy
on Star Wars. Yeah.
It was Battlefront. It was in Battlefront 1, but it was more noticeable. They're like, oh, well, we got away from it. We got away with it with this. Let's try it with this. And so they built a whole new game around microtransactions and the throttling and what have you. Like, I think they said something like it would have taken 2,000 hours or more based on the percentage of wins on the loot boxes to be able to get some of the in-game heroes. Which was
and that was the big thing, yeah. Those heroes were pay to get, and essentially.
And I hate microtransactions with a passion. As long as if they're cosmetic, fine, whatever. Really don't give a shit. But if it influences the core mechanics of the game in any way, whether it be leveling up faster or getting items quicker, getting better items, it should not be in the game. It should be cut and dry, black and white. There be no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, when you mentioned earlier that Overwatch has the best like style, like I am fine if somebody wants to pay money out the ass just to look good in a game. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But yeah, then there's the games that are pay to win. And at that point, it's not even a game. You're defeating the purpose.
I mean, you could look at it this way. There are specialists in Call of Duty. Imagine if you weren't able to use that specialist ability or a character's ultimate in Overwatch unless you paid. That would be absolutely insane.
At that point, I wouldn't play the game. I mean, there's no point in me playing the game and doing my fucking my damnedest to get good at a new game. And just for someone to come in and be like, all right, I've only been playing the game for like a couple hours and I have this new specialist and I'm kicking your ass because I paid for it, you know? Like
and I will say as much, and I'm saying this as an owner of a Fortnite team, I like Fortnite as far as the way that they handle their microtransactions. Yeah. They like the season pass thing, I think is a pretty cool way to implement it. I think that the amount of levels you have to get to get all the skins is a middle player. But other than that, I think it's fairly well developed.
Cut out, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
I just think that the way that the season passes are made are slightly too long. Like I think for the casual player, you might not be able to meet all the challenges and levels required
At least
within.
on this season, there has been times where you get boosted XP, where you level up really fast. So they added that.
Well, that's not bad. But I was just saying in general, I like the idea of battle passes because you're paying a flat fee
Yeah.
for a leveling system to be able to get all these exclusive skins for that season. I think that's fine.
And I think a lot of games have adopted the battle pass.
I was about to bring up
system.
Dauntless. Dauntless is very similar. They're also through Epic Games now.
Okay.
It's basically like free to play Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
And
I know Dead by
what-
Daylight has an occasional battle pass style
Yeah.
event, which is one's going on right now. Their Halloween event started late, but
Yeah.
that's going on for another 50 some days.
Dang.
Vega and
And
I are
I-
the king of jukes on Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
I loved Dead by Daylight.
I do apologize, but I do have to dip out here
Alright.
a little bit early on this podcast. Feel free to continue, and I will continue listening, guys. But I'll catch you in the next one.
All right.
Toodaloo.
Yeah, see ya.
Later.
Toodaloo.
All right, guys. Now that the dead weight's gone,
Oh my god. Yeah, I might be able to get us a fourth again. Hang on.
I just realized we should have told them to do another transition.
well, one more thing that we didn't get to, and I'll talk about this while we're kind of figuring things out.
Yeah.
Going back to Bethesda, because we didn't hit all the things about this new membership that they have. The thing that we're talking about is Fallout First. That's what they're calling this membership, and that title itself bothers me because Fallout First makes you think that you're, the first people to have bought the game, but no, this is the people who they're putting first. These are the people that are getting, the special treatment because they're paying $100 a year. And the thing is, so this Fallout First, you get all sorts of perks. Yeah, you get that separate that server that you can play on with your friends. You get that unlimited scrap bin or whatever.
Yeah.
You also get a nice little logo next to your name that says you're paying Fallout First.
Hey, Peg, what's
Yeah?
up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? You guys talk about Fallout 76?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Bethesda.
The whole
We are
subscription? Isn't
big
it still like
fans.
$16 for the subscription?
Is it 16 now? I thought it was
it's-
12.
I thought they said it was
I'm
like 1,600 atoms or something like that.
Oh, can you buy it with atoms?
Well, when I first saw like them talking about like releasing the whole subscription thing, they were talking about that it was going to cost 1,600 atoms every month. So that way you have an opportunity to still earn the subscription by playing the game, rather than just throwing money out of your pocket. I mean, you
See,
can.
no, that would be nice. I could actually
It's not
look that
like
up
that?
and see.
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, that sucks.
Fallout First
Dang.
No, it is
paid
only
for
$12.99
with.
Well, that
Let's see.
sucks.
on their official website. It's only you pay $13 with tax. But although they do have a little asterisk saying that's the current price, so the price could go up or down.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I was saying
Yeah,
earlier,
I'm not finding.
I was saying
I
earlier,
saw it in an
Penguin.
Go on.
article before they decided to actually implement the idea
Yeah.
that they were suggesting, like, oh well, we'll probably be doing the subscription for 1,600 atoms a month, so that way people have an opportunity to like earn it.
Oh, I think what you're apparently you receive 1,600 atoms a month. with
Oh,
the
they
membership.
give you 1,600 atoms?
Yeah.
Along with the monthly payment, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not so bad. That's actually cool.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, Penguin, that the only reason I would even play on a private server is I used to get so irritated that I would spend hours beyond hours beyond hours on my building my base. And the way it was when I was playing it on Fallout 76 is if you logged in and someone already had their base built where yours got put back in your pocket and you had to re-put it somewhere. And half the time, or a lot of the time actually, you wouldn't be able to find a place where your base would actually go, which made me.
They changed that.
Oh, they changed that?
Yeah.
That made me so mad.
So, like, say for example, you log in now where your base normally would be. It would be like, oh well, somebody else is occupying your space right now. Would you like to find another server? So you can keep hopping worlds to
okay.
find a place till your base
Oh, that's
spawns,
cool.
or you can
That's
actually
nice.
just place it down.
Okay.
And they actually fixed the whole placing down thing because before it used to like separate like clusters of your base into like different blueprints, which made it impossible for you to actually like place anything down. But now they fixed that, so so base building's a lot easier. They even made it so you can clear out like trees and like other kind of like obstacles in the area so you can build your base.
All right.
Oh, that's nice. That was a hassle.
Yeah, it was a bitch and a half. A lot of people just built on the golf course because it was the biggest open space ever.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But now you can build your bases like up in the mountains, fucking next to the water, like everywhere.
Okay.
Big.
I don't know. I haven't logged in for a while, so I'd have to probably update and check it out. Does anybody else here play Fallout 76?
I haven't
Nope.
touched it in a while. I don't even think I have the Bethesda launcher downloaded anymore.
I think it's been. When did 76 come out?
Today, a year ago, because they're celebrating their 1 year anniversary this month.
Are they really? Holy
Yeah.
shit!
So this weekend they're going to be doing a double.
So yeah, I haven't
PhD
played in
weekend,
about
which is
10
pretty
months.
lame. Oh, so
Yeah.
okay.
It's been a while for me too.
They had quite a bit. They opened some of the vaults, but the vaults are more of like kind of like side games. So like what is it, Vault 54 or something like that, or I can't remember what is it, Vault 51 or something like that. That's the battle royale mode now. There's another one. I think I can't remember the vault numbers, but the other one's a dungeon, like a plant-based dungeon one.
Remember that one? I saw I didn't get to go inside of it because I don't have the game downloaded anymore. But I remember
when they first launched,
it was
pretty
like
buggy.
it was like just a bunch of there was like a guy up in the guard shack or whatever, and he was dead, and you were just trying to find a tape or something or code or something.
Well, yeah. When you go into the vault, it asks you to input a key, which it's sitting there now. Rather than people are like, oh well, we have to look for it. Yeah, and then when you enter the vault, you can either enter it solo, which I don't really recommend because it's such a pain in the ass to do by yourself because everything's timed.
Okay.
It's like a timed dungeon, which kind of sucks.
Now, is this vault, or are these vaults like instances where you go in and they're like separate, or are they like completely connected? Like you just walk in and do a thing?
They're separate instances.
Okay.
So it's like taking you out of the main server and putting you into the server for that designated vault.
So that's kind of like what Grinch was talking about, how he was saying that he wished that there was kind of dungeony instances. So
yeah, there's
that's
only
an improvement.
one for now.
Okay.
So I think they only have like 2 vaults open right now. It's just the battle royale and just the dungeon one. The dungeon one's okay. The only great thing that you can get from it is just they implemented like a new type of power armor. It's like it's just like regular T60 power armor, but it's covered in like vines and plants and stuff. So
Dang.
and it gives
That
you
looks
like
pretty
buffs.
Ooh,
dope.
so it's like a Bastion skin.
Yeah, it's kind of like the overgrown Bastion skin.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull up a picture of it.
I think my favorite power armor was the excavator power armor. 100%.
Yeah, it was great because you can they gave you 100 extra carry weight when you had the full set equipped,
Oh yeah.
and then they nerfed that, so you can't really do that. Yeah, so you can't do that anymore.
I remember being out in like the wilderness and getting attacked, and if your leg broke on your armor, you lost all that carry weight. Vault
94. That's it. It's kind of like a Vietnam like power armor.
Oh my gosh.
Where can I post this link? I just put in what Hangout or something.
You can put it in podcast topics, man.
Oh,
Yep.
on the 99 Nights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what the.
Oh
the
damn, that's
Does
awesome.
it have a beard, or no? Is that just a character?
It's like
like
seaweed.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like seaweed or plants. It's like got vines growing in it and everything. It's supposed to give you some pretty nice buffs, and you can earn
And
like
it's camouflage.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It gives you like buffs, and that's about it. I think it's treated as like legendary equipment, but it's power armor, so it's better than just regular power armor.
Okay.
Nice.
But that's pretty much all they're doing. And then they had the recent delay over the Wastelanders update, the new DLC that they were going to be coming out. They moved that till next year. That sucks.
Yeah, the NPC update I talked about earlier.
I'm looking forward to it though. I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited to see how it goes.
I might have to re-download it just to check it out. But
It's supposed to be like as if 100 years have passed. So it's like after the
It
first
feels
25
like it.
years of the bombs dropping, obviously we have Reclamation Day. Oh, excuse me, I bumped my mic.
All right.
And then like all the Vault Dwellers come out to rebuild society. And then I don't know if they specifically said 100 years, but a lot of people are guesstimating that it's around 100 years have passed when the Wastelanders DLC comes out. Because we now have raiders coming back, we have settlers. It's kind of like going to be like the same thing with like Fallout 4, but we're going to have different factions compared to all the stuff we had in Fallout 4.
Hey, Death Reaper, how's it going? Welcome to the stream, buddy.
Interesting.
So I saw you put on there, and that is a really good topic, improv. What do you all think about the new Sonic design?
Love it.
It's
Do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
do you think it should have been like that from the beginning?
I think they did have. I think the whole bad Sonic was a
I think it was a troll.
like a PR.
No.
It was a PR thing. So they're like they made a bad Sonic, and they're like, hey guys, here's the Sonic movie, and then they're expecting like this big explosion, and then they just took this out of their pocket. They're like, ha, we had this the whole time.
Actually, it's gonna
Didn't
be.
they bring in a whole new team to work on it though?
yes,
They brought
did.
in a new team. Well, not a completely new team. They brought in some new people to be
Like a new
lead
designer or something?
Yeah, there's a guy on Twitter that I follow who was the lead character designer for the new Sonic. So
It just looks way better. It looks like how
It looks way
it
better.
should be.
I feel like when they first introduced the Sonic, like the one that scared the shit out of everybody, that was like, oh my god, this is the nightmare. Yeah, the humanoid Sonic.
Yeah.
It was more of like they were testing it, and obviously it failed.
Yeah.
When trying to like convert a cartoon character to a realism, it's really hard to do.
Well, that's what we talked about. I think it was me and you that talked about that the other day, Penguin. The way they did the Pokemon movie, real life, was amazing. The way all the models looked was perfect.
Yeah. See, I mean, so when
Except
it
for
comes to
Mr.
Pokemon,
Mime. Mr. Mime was scary.
Mr. Mime actually turned out pretty good.
Psyduck was creepy.
It looks really good. Yeah.
It's a shame that he looked like Maui from Moana.
He survived? Oh wow.
Yeah, Mr. Mime. Yeah.
I like when he was in his little box and the guy was like, "I'm gonna like this match," and Mr. Mime was like, "No, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it."
What is it called? Like light screen is the attack that he used.
Light screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool how they like made everything. The only thing that irritated me that I didn't like about the Pokemon movie was the Apoms. They look too.
They look too realistic.
Yeah, because their teeth were just like.
Yeah, like when they went crazy.
They had like perfect teeth, dude.
When they went crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like, I mean, with Pokemon, you can do that realism because they're animals. All you have to do is kind of like build them around like an animal, like realism look to it. But with Sonic, since he's an actual humanoid cartoon character, that's like really hard to do. But I'm glad that they were able to fix their mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the pretty much the filler portion of the podcast. If there's anything you guys want to talk about it. Any news or anything like that?
Anybody excited
we
that Jim
can.
Carrey's in the Sonic movie?
Oh,
I love that.
As Dr. Eggman.
I mean, yes.
Eggman, yeah.
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 Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Touching back to Disney Plus. Apparently, Disney Plus has a like a caution on a number of their their content, saying may contain outdated cultural depictions.
Oh, really?
Like what?
Yeah. So, the example that I have here on my screen is they have very, very stereotypical Native American depictions in Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So just anything that could be considered not
Appropriate.
not politically
nowadays.
correct.
Yeah.
They have
Dumbo.
marks. Yeah, they have little. Yeah, Dumbo, especially. They have these outdated cultural depictions mark in the description.
So they're basically recalling on themselves, saying that they weren't PC.
Yes, but they're saying outdated, which means they're still considering them appropriate for the time that they were made. So they're not completely discounting that they made these possibly racist or sexist or whatever jokes in the shows. They're just being like, it's not appropriate now, but at the time,
That's kind of like the have you watched the like the Dragon Ball stuff improv, like the anime? That's kind of like going from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball, there was a lot of super dirty jokes, just out of context stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
it was awesome.
And stuff like that. Now they just couldn't get away with it. There's no way.
Isn't there like a thing in Dragon Ball where Goku is like trying to look at Bulma's panties or something?
Yes.
I think so.
In Dragon Ball, yes.
Sorry, my in reference to that, my favorite joke in Dragon Ball is in like the first two episodes. Bulma falls asleep, and then Goku falls asleep in her lap, and he picks up his head, ends up feeling her crotch, and he shouts, "Bulma, your balls are gone," because he doesn't know what a woman is.
I completely forgot about that.
And she wakes up in a big stint because she's like, "Oh shit, the Dragon Balls are gone." But no, he's like, "Oh, you don't have testicles."
Oh my god!
And they just wouldn't be able to get away with that.
Best joke.
No, one of the things we kind of go back to on the YouTube thing. Did you guys see the thing that happened with Markiplier's stream?
No.
With a lot of those people getting banned for the emotes.
So,
What, people are emoting and then he was banning everybody, or
No,
what?
YouTube. He had a stream where like the people watching.
Markiplier was was streaming his
Heist with Markiplier.
Heist with Markiplier.
Yeah.
And
it's a choose your own adventure thing.
Yeah. It was with emotes, like red paddle, green paddle, something like that.
So yeah, spam green to go one way, spam red to go the other.
And they were spamming them and they got banned. The people spamming. Not by Markiplier, but by YouTube.
And it was over, I believe, I think they said 3,000, 4,000.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was only a few hundred. It's a few thousand? Oh, shit.
No, there was a lot.
Oh, damn.
Markiplier even made a video where he was super pissed.
Yeah.
He explained it and apologized.
And then, apparently, since then, they've kind of fixed it.
Well, he said in his update video what was it, like the head of content or the head of gaming or something like that, actually DM'd him and was like, "I'm sorry, I was afraid this would happen," or something like that, and she was trying to fix it or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I still think it's crazy that these bans happened over spamming emotes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and supposedly this is all just from the automated like YouTube scan system. Like they just automatically are like, hey, all these guys are breaking the law.
So
let's get rid of them.
So I haven't streamed on YouTube that much, but I just noticed that if I click on like somebody's comment, and I'm not gonna do it to anybody. Like nobody needs to be afraid. But like if I click on somebody's comment, it says there's an option put user in timeout. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? I could put somebody.
It's probably a temporary.
Oh, okay.
Probably a temporary. They can't comment.
When I think about that, like timeout, I think like putting a kid in the corner for being bad. You know what I mean?
Just be like, you're spamming in chat. 5 minutes. Think about what you've done.
Yeah. Nobody needs to. Be
All right,
afraid.
put me in a timeout.
I want to see. Okay, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does.
I want to see what happens.
Message Billy. Oh my! You're in timeout for 300 seconds.
No! What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? Oh yeah, you've been placed on a timeout by the owner of this video or moderator. So my message will pop up at the end of those 300 seconds, I would assume.
Oh my god.
Okay, interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Now there is one major thing on YouTube right now, which is concerning a lot. And I've already had to do it. I don't know if Colt's done it yet, but for right now on YouTube, if you upload a video or you go onto your
I've done it. I know what you're about to say.
It says, is your channel kid friendly?
When I streamed Call of Duty, when I streamed Call of Duty on my channel the other day, literally as I hit start stream, it said, is this content child friendly? Yes or no? And I obviously I put no, but I mean,
instant ban.
Well, no,
everything deleted.
I think Bacon was saying something the other day where if you would say yes, it is child friendly, and it actually isn't child friendly, and YouTube finds out, you could be in trouble. You know?
Yeah, you will be facing. They said you will be facing legal issues if that happens.
This is why I don't trust YouTube.
But the other thing that kind of concerns me with this, because Cole has brought this up before. They've had YouTube Kids before, and it failed miserably.
Yeah.
But now that I feel like they're doing this, I'm wondering if they're gonna be doing the if you're kid friend, like, because with YouTube Kids you couldn't watch anybody who was adultish content. But I'm wondering if they're doing this now, and because they're doing this, no people under like 17 would be able to see that content.
I don't know.
It's a scary thought to think about, especially because there's a lot of YouTubers out there who are like kid friendly for some videos, but also like adult in others, like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie. They're all perfect examples where they can be kid friendly. Then there's ones where they're just not be kid friendly at all.
I guess you just have to check the yes or no box every time, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean the only thing is when the views would probably drop on some of those videos that they're above 18.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, and we'll see what happens in a couple weeks.
We did get a big streamer come to the platform. Courage left Twitch to join YouTube for streaming. So I mean, that's
very true. Very true. We have a lot of big YouTube streamers already on here, and Courage was a great addition.
I wonder what Twitch is going to do to counteract a lot of their big streamers leaving.
Yeah, that's a very
maybe start treating their people better. I don't know. That's just a thing to think about.
Probably the only thing that I would think about.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, Twitch has lost a lot of people, and some very big people. They've lost Ninja. They've lost Shroud. They've lost Gaphalion. They've lost Courage. And most recently, this morning, FaZe Ewok is now part of Mixer.
Yep.
It just kind of says who's really safe on Twitch and all that. But more importantly, what is Twitch gonna do now that they're losing some of their?
Yeah.
I still can't post in the chat.
Really?
300 seconds, 5 minutes.
I was like, 5 minutes. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it says.
I told you, I was right. Wow.
I have this whole thing typed out, and I'm just waiting to send it. I keep hitting enter.
Yeah, when I did it,
To
it
send
said
it.
Improv Panic Attack was timed out by 99 Nights for 300 seconds.
Yeah,
God
so
damn.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
All right, but so these now Mixer streamers, these are like big. Like I'm not a big stream watcher, but like these
Yeah.
are like big Twitch
Yeah,
streamers, like
the first one was Ninja.
like the top 10% kind of people, or
Oh yeah,
Kind of.
I would
So,
say.
okay,
Ninja was
like I just
the number
feel
one.
yeah, Ninja of course. That's the
and
only one that I recognize.
Shroud was up
Shroud
there.
was either like second or third behind Ninja, and because he's a very
Okay.
big streamer, and he got pulled. Gaphalion was a relatively smaller streamer. Now I don't want to
Okay.
say he's small, but like he was
Smaller in
decent size.
comparison, like a moderate, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was probably like the 500,000, not the 30 million or that kind of stuff. But yeah, and then
Hey, I can post.
Courage was up
Uh-oh.
there.
But yeah, like
Courage
what's
was very high up there.
like Twitch is just that like home brand name. Like people know Twitch. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it. Like will people get to know Mixer?
I think the
Like,
competitiveness of Mixer and Twitch right now is going to bump Mixer up the charts per se. The
Because-
competitiveness. And with them taking
Okay,
some
so-
of the bigger names, you know what I mean?
Right. Like it's right now. It just feels like a publicity thing. Like people are only going to know about Mixer because of this. Because of people talking about this headbutting.
Yeah.
Like I still feel like Twitch is a more comfortable thing because people are used to Twitch. So I want to know how many people are going to consider using Mixer over Twitch. Like excluding the fact of like these big streamers that are switching over. Like who's gonna start on Mixer and hope to grow, and who's gonna stick to Twitch because it's possibly more comfortable?
I guess time will tell. You never know.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, back at PAX West, I did meet one of the bigger Mixer people, because Mixer had a booth at PAX West, and he was never on Twitch. Like he was only on Mixer, and like his community was pretty good, and he was doing relatively well. And I mean, like the numbers are a lot smaller on Mixer, but it's still really important. Like the guy I saw, I forget his name now, but he only had like 25,000 on Mixer, but that was big numbers then.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm gonna take a look, because like when I do, if I watch any streams, it's gonna be via my console,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and like I just I just click on the Twitch app and I just watch whatever. I just kind of browse streams until I find something. But there's no Mixer app on the PlayStation Plus, or like on the PlayStation.
Oh, really?
So I can't watch Mixer on my PlayStation, and I'm not going to watch it on my PC. So I'm stuck to watching Twitch until Mixer has a PlayStation app.
I didn't know that. Dang.
Maybe that's
So-
something that they might be working on that in the future, though.
And yeah, maybe that might be. It's just like that's something that I feel like you're an established thing when you have one of those. Like Disney Plus has, they released, and now there's a Disney Plus app on my PlayStation that was never there before.
Mm-hmm.
This whole Mixer thing happened a few months ago, and I don't have a Mixer app. So at the moment, I find it hard to believe that people will try Mixer if it's not that. Like, I'm not saying that a PlayStation app means you've made it. I'm not saying a PlayStation app means we're Facebook official, but like,
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little thing that I decided I could point out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, right now Mixer is kind of like it's pretty much, in my opinion, it's pretty much the second or third streaming site right now, in my opinion, because I think
Third?
Twitch is number one. I think Twitch is number one. YouTube's number two.
Okay. I forgot
And
people stream on YouTube, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, like we were saying, Courage JD is now only on YouTube.
Oh, right.
But I feel like before all this controversy started, Mixer was around, granted, but like I just remembered it was probably like lower than like Caffeine or any of the other ones. And now because of all this, it's growing more and more to the point where I'd say it's past like Caffeine.
Dang, I know Cartoons uses caffeine.
There's a lot of people that use Caffeine.
Really?
It's just not many people like to use it, which is the thing.
Dang.
Like, I know Cartoons, Gorilla Fint uses it sometimes. There's a bunch of people that use it every now and again. But it's just
I'm gonna assume Caffeine is a streaming site or something.
Yes, it is. It is a streaming
Okay.
site.
It's good to know, because you were saying not a lot of people like caffeine or use caffeine, and I'm like, that's bullshit. I use caffeine all the fucking time.
I do too, but that's not what I meant.
The day.
Oh my gosh.
But I think like this whole controversy, I think Mixer is purposely doing it to get their name out there to the point where they'll be like in that top spot, and then they'll probably start like branching out to like apps eventually or just other stuff.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
they're just trying to get their name out there right now. Kind of like what a lot of esports organizations do. They want to get their name out there. They start pulling out the big guns.
Yeah, and that makes sense. There was something that I watched when the first Ninja, when the Ninja like buyout. I'm just gonna call it a buyout because that's basically what it was. When the Ninja buyout happened, like I read something about, they were talking about how Ninja might be the top Twitch streamer now, moving all of his fan base, or how much of his fan base, to Mixer. Do we know what his viewership has been on Mixer? Like, has it been up there?
I think he normally gets like 10 to 20,000 viewers per stream now.
On Mixer now compared to Twitch?
Well, no, that's what he has on Mixer now. Normally, he was getting like 50,000.
Right. So he's getting less viewership because of this new platform. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like this person brought up that they pay Mixer, I guess, paid Ninja a lot of money to move over to their platform. But they might have been able to pay.
Million?
Was it?
How much did he get paid again for moving to Mixer? Like 3 million or 30 million?
No. It was.
Wasn't
I want to say it was.
Something like
Ninja...
No, not 80 million. It was like 20 million.
Okay.
It was like 20 mil.
By Mixer.
Because they never. I don't think they ever fully released the amount.
Okay.
At least I'm pretty sure Ninja's never said the amount.
I think when he first moved over, when he was getting a lot of like hate or slack for moving over, it was either him or his wife posted something like, it was like a month after where they finally said why he moved.
It was his wife.
Yeah, she said something. I think it was Jessica. She said something about Twitch only let him have so many brand deals or sponsorship deals, or it was something to do with those lines, and he wanted to expand, and Twitch wouldn't let him.
Interesting.
That's what I saw on Twitter. I think it was so long ago that I don't quote me, but I think that's why he moved.
Okay.
Because he was actually on that one show not too long ago, that The Masked Singer or something like that. He was on that too.
Was he really?
Yeah,
he was the ice cream.
Shit!
He was the ice cream.
He was the second eliminated.
Oh wow. Now the real question is, how good was he?
Well, he sang "Old Town Road," didn't he, or something like that?
I don't know
he sang Old Town Road.
That's
great.
And then his second song was "Whip It."
Okay, I can respect
Did he
that.
sing "Whip It"? I don't think he sang "Whip It."
Yeah, he did. In the SmackDown,
Oh.
the new thing they added this season. It was just a little clip of it, but yeah, he did.
I gotta watch that. Is there any kind of is that shown on anything like Hulu or anything or
Of him on The Masked Singer? I know there was stuff
I
on
don't-
YouTube.
no like the Masked Singer in general?
Oh,
Like
I
is a
don't
Masked
know.
Singer
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
or would I have to? I might have to look that
Yeah.
up.
It's on
That
Hulu.
sounds really good.
Yeah, I watch it a lot, so I try to guess. I like to guessing who it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so far I've only gotten one this season, so
One right?
yeah,
Oh,
and it wasn't Ninja.
Who'd you get right?
It was hold on. I gotta remember her full name because I had it and then I forget her name. It was Muhammad Ali's daughter, Lila Lee.
Okay.
Lila Lee.
Yeah, Lila Ali. Sorry, Lila Ali.
Lila Ali.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic on naming children. Jesus.
On naming children.
Naming
mean,
children Jesus? Is that what you just
No,
said?
I just people who name their children things like just Lila Ali is just one of those things that's just hard to say. If if it wasn't Muhammad Ali's daughter, it's someone that would get made fun of.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But
Whoa, so I just saw on Twitter that Keanu Reeves is supposedly in the new SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run, and it says Keanu Reeves plays a tumbleweed in SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run. I wonder how that's gonna work out. It has a clip of him as a tumbleweed talking to SpongeBob and Patrick. It was like his head in the tumbleweed.
Mm-hmm.
You said you
Yep,
saw
look at
that
that.
too, Bacon?
Yeah, I've been seeing it
He
around.
tumbles over to SpongeBob and says, "You're breathtaking."
Okay.
Now, do you think Keanu Reeves playing a tumbleweed is the equivalent of Patrick Stewart playing the poo emoji?
The poo emoji.
Great respected actors playing something.
No one talks about that
something-
movie.
What? No, it's oh my
We're not
gosh.
talking about the movie. We're talking about Sir Patrick Stewart.
Okay, as long as we don't talk about the movie.
No, we're not talking about the movie. We're just talking about great actors playing awkward,
Crappy
kind
roles,
of
literally.
crappy roles. Yeah.
Dang.
Trying to think of other really bad roles that actors have been in. I don't know why. First thing I think is Moana, and I think of Dwayne.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Hey, I like that. I loved Moana. I thought it was a great movie.
I really can't think of anybody else.
Nope. Nope.
I'm seeing one thing on Twitter right now, which is kind of interesting to think of. This is off topic of everything, but about esports specifically. Apparently, FaZe has their own store now.
Who does?
Has their own actual FaZe.
Like their own actual actual store, or like
Yeah, like an actual store you can go to
oh, that's pretty
in
cool.
Los Angeles. Apparently, it's supposed to be open on Saturday, but it's supposed to be, from what I'm reading and everything, it's gonna be kind of like Gucci store and all that, the kind of style.
Well, yeah.
They even have their own logo for it, which actually looks pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Good for them, man. Ace Clean does some big things.
Mm-hmm. The only question is, when is 100 Thieves doing it?
I think 100 Thieves was, they were building this giant, last thing I saw, they were building this giant office that was gonna have like they were actually gonna have like like an apparel section where their apparel designer was gonna be and everything. And I think Nate Shot said in one of his videos that they were actually going to, here and there, I can't remember. I think he said here and there they were going to have like some people get the chance to come in and look at the merchandise and possibly get merchandise there and like an apparel there and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. But they're supposed to have like a giant building like for their office, Nate Shot's office, like their esports teams to practice in, their apparel stuff. It looks pretty cool. But that's all I got, guys. You guys got anything else?
That's all I got.
Not too much.
Alright. You got anything else, Penguin?
Mm-mm.
Alright, so I thank everybody for coming out to the live stream. And if you catch the one next Thursday, be on the lookout for it. Until then, Colt signing off, and out everybody.
Peace.
TTFN.